Blue Lock might have just shocked the world, as in this chapter, we see Isagi proving why he is the Demon King, as he firstly steals Onatsu's own technique, but then, he does the unthinkable. Alright, starting off this chapter, also called The Student Becomes the Master, we see the only remaining minute on the clock before we see Henri looking super shocked, as she looks towards Isagi and says his name before asking what he is doing. We then see Isagi running with all that he can with the ball, and the aura around him is overflowing. His eyes are just as determined as him, as he straight up looks wild. We then see Kuso on the side, who can't even comprehend what is going on, as he wonders to himself if he really is trying to score another point now. A no-name from the Nigerian team then screams out that Blue Lock is going for another counter-attack. After that, we see Isagi passing the ball to the side, and to none other than Rin, who traps it flawlessly. He looks forward and says that he isn't satisfied. Isagi just looks manically towards him, and tells him that if that's the case, then he should come on and calls him a beast. After that, we see the two of them being on a straight-up generational run as they are getting behind a ton of no-names without even dropping a single sweat. They are on such a roll that the Nigerian defender screams that the two of them are charging up together again. On top of that, the goalkeeper thinks that he is someone and wants to get a line in before the match ends, so he tells them to move back and to stop them, even if it kills them. However, our boy Isagi has other plans, as he looks wild, and just when one of the Nigerian defenders was going to him, he passed the ball to the side, and to none other than Karasu. Karasu gets a huge smirk on himself, and says that Isagi is a real harsh taskmaster. After that, he gets away with a pass back to Isagi, and tells him to show him what he can do, and calls him Demon King. Isagi looks at the incoming ball and compliments Karasu's pass and calls him extraordinary. And look, I have said this tons of times before, but I love when they refer to each other by their nicknames. Anyway, Isagi then gets the ball and sends it right away to someone else, and this time, it's the monster Bachira. Bachira gets the ball, and just like Karasu, he gets a huge smile as he says, "Roger Nosuke," which has me a bit lost, but whatever Bachira says goes. After that, it's actually embarrassing, as he completely outmaneuvers the Nigerian defenders, like he is literally just playing with them. Kuso then screams out with everything that he can. He tells them all to watch out for Isagi, and that he still hasn't scored yet, telling his team that he's going to try and score with the last play. After that, we see Isagi putting in a super wild sprint, but surprisingly, Bachira then thinks that something isn't adding up. He starts dribbling with the ball and says that Kuso's theory is too shallow and that their egotist can't be summed up that easily. He looks at both Rin and Isagi, who are currently running in front of him, and he thinks that if Isagi just wanted to score, then he would have a better chance if he and Rin kept passing back and forth until he shot and scored himself. We then see a Nigerian player approaching Bachira. However, those no-names are nothing to him, as he goes to the side and thinks that the fact that Isagi went out of his way to pass to Bachira means that right now, Isagi is asking for something else. And after that, we see Isagi who looks back towards Bachira. And with his metavision eyes out, he puts his thumb upside down. This makes Bachira's whole eye start to also go absolutely crazy, as he says that he hears him and calls him partner. And honestly, this duo will go down in history as one of the best, if not the best. With that said, Bachira starts looking totally manic as he sends the pass to him with a backspin on it. After that, we see the goalkeeper, who once again just wants some sort of screen time, and he tells his teammates to watch the goal box. Anyway, back to Bachira's insane pass, which we can see goes right under two of the Nigerian defenders' legs, which I don't know. This just looks like so much aura. However, we then get to Rin, who is accompanied by both Bello and Oboabona, and both of them are strongly holding him down. Bello even tells him that this is the end of the line. But it isn't just them, as we also see Onatsu and Kuso, who goes to Isagi and also tell him the same thing. After that, in sync, both Onatsu and Kuso think that they will stop Isagi with everything that they can. Hey, it's Natsu, mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? But suddenly, Isagi says that it goes right as he has planned, and suddenly he turns around, facing away from Onatsu and Kuso, and instead towards the incoming ball. He looks so absorbed in the game as he is pushing them back and thinking that this is what he was waiting for, and this new adaptation. We then see Onatsu, who can't even believe his eyes as he genuinely looks terrified, and says that this move is the reverse trap that he himself made earlier. Kuso then tries to also get himself involved, as he tries to close the distance to Isagi, and thinks that it isn't the same, and that it's not mid-air, saying that it's a ground pass variant modified for himself. We then see the ball just coming closer and closer to Isagi's foot, and Kuso says that Isagi took the new technique Onatsu just invented and instantly remodeled it into his own version. We then see the ball finally coming to Isagi, who traps it upwards while having tons of puzzle pieces around him. After that, he legitimately looks so cool as he takes a deep breath and tells himself not to win by accident, but instead to make victory inevitable. However, you can't get trapped by a formula that you created before. After that, he finally takes the step and jumps up high in the air, and I know that I have said this a bunch of times, but he looks like a demon. Onatsi then just looks at him with a sincere and kind of inspiring look, as he says that this is someone on the path to being the world's best. With that said, we get to Isagi, who then finally fires off the shot, and this again is just a flawless panel. Anyway, as he sends away the ball, he says that you need to bet on all of it, your own thinking, your unknown pleasures, and your curiosity in themselves. We then see the Glock behind Isagi, as always, and on top of that, we also see Kuso legit falling towards the ground, probably most likely falling due to Isagi's insane aura. But then the next panel is just as sick, as there's legit a full-on bullet around the ball. We then get to Henri, who also looks at this in pure amazement and thinks that this is a reverse rapid side shot volley. After that, we get back to the GOAT Isagi, who thinks that keeping the status quo by sticking to plans is nothing for him, as instead, living on this battlefield means testing himself over and over again. With that said, we see the ball finally hitting the back of the net. After that, Isagi looks manic and calls out for Ego and tells him that his soccer isn't enough for him anymore. And we then get a small panel of Ego below him, and he just looks totally mind-blown by all of this. It literally looks like time has frozen for him. After that, we see Isagi, who of course should go and celebrate this, and he runs before he jumps up into the air and screams out, as he's just made the 4th goal of the match. We also see Raichi, Corona, and of course Bachira around him all coming to celebrate with him. The text then says that the U20 World Cup opening match is over, and that Japan wins. Which, to be fair, everyone before this match even began thought that Japan would win. However, I don't know if anyone expected it to be such a stomp. I said around the first few chapters that I hoped that it would happen. However, I literally thought that it was just a pipe dream and that it would never come true. But to think that Blue Lock has now gotten their true stomp match with a 4-goal winning match is wild. Also, I got so excited that I forgot to talk about what the next chapter would be called. But it's called Cola, which honestly is a bit of a rough title after a goal, to be honest. However, I'm super looking forward to seeing how they will cook with it. Also, if you have any idea of what it means, then please let me know down below. Also, extra good news, there will be no break next week, and the Blue Lock streak will just continue regularly, which is legit awesome. But with that said, let's get into talking about this madness of a chapter. First up, I have seen a lot of Isagi haters coming recently, which I think is insane. However, I hope that this goal changes their mind, as my boy was on demon time right here. In, less than a minute, he understood Onatsi's play, and after that, he adjusted it to fit himself, also doing what Onatsi couldn't do, which was, of course, scoring the goal. But this is why he is truly the adaptation genius, as he saw what Onatsi did and just copied it, or not even copied it, as he improved it and made it better, making it into a brand new weapon for the future, and something that he will be able to put in his arsenal and use again sometime. To be fully honest with you then, I think that I could talk about this goal alone for days, but we will move on to what he said towards Ego. Isagi told Ego that his soccer wasn't enough anymore, which, first up, is an insane aura move. However, this makes me a bit curious. Isagi has always been someone who evolves in the middle of the games and has gotten a ton of power-ups. But what is going to happen now? If Ego's soccer isn't enough, will he just play totally on his own? Which of course isn't going to happen. So, I'm super curious about what Isagi really meant with it and what Ego can cook up in order to somehow keep this demon of a player in check. Or maybe not in check, but what he will come up with for strategies that will satisfy him rather. After that, let's talk about Bachira, who undoubtedly was the man of the match in this match. This boy did it all. He has 2 assists, I'm pretty sure, and even scored his own goal. And while Isagi's goal will most likely be the most hyped up, Bachira for sure deserves some love too, as he was on straight demon time too. But anyway, I think that this is where I will leave it off. However, anyway, before you click off, please let me know what you thought about this chapter down in the comments, and also what you would rate it. Honestly, for me, it can't get much better, but a 10 out of 10 is kind of crazy, so I will give it a 9 for now. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video, which will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.